The manner in which Darth Sidious humiliated Vader yesterday on the release of issue number 6 of Darth Vader, it was something to behold, honestly. And I saw all of you in the comments just being shocked, basically, like I was when I first read the comic, because Darth Vader was just crumbled. He was a crumb in comparison with Sidious, who dominated him in every facet. Consider this, just with the Force alone, Palpatine didn't even appear to bother himself with a lightsaber against Darth Vader. So this should tell you enough that Darth Sidious doesn't even have a lightsaber in this fight. So consider this, just with the Force, Palpatine grabbed Vader's lightsaber from his hands, then Force chokes him with ease and ultimately crushes all of his limbs and his suit altogether. This is how powerful Darth Sidious was. And before this comic, I don't think we really respected that. Again, many of you in the comments were like, now I understand Darth Vader saying to Luke in Return of the Jedi, the line that says, "You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master." Since Vader had gone through disobedience before, through discipline that Sidious handed over, and it wasn't quite nice, as you can see with this comic. But today I want to talk about a specific thing that happened yesterday that we kind of brushed over because I wanted to go through the ultimatum that Sidious gave Vader on Mustafar. He let him burn alive and told him that he could only rescue himself by not using the Force. He needed to use the resources at hand except for anything to do with the Force. What we kind of glanced over though was a vision in his mind, a vision of old Ben Kenobi and Vader's final fight with him. So after crushing Vader altogether, Palpatine travels with what remained of Darth Vader to Mustafar and let him burn once more. Sidious wanted a fresh start for Darth Vader, back when he was as vulnerable as ever and when Sidious needed to rescue him. In episode 3, Sidious sensed Vader was in danger and traveled to Mustafar and ultimately saved him. If it wasn't for Palpatine himself, then Darth Vader would have died there on Mustafar. But one crazy thing happened during that time. Palpatine throws Vader's lightsaber beside him, but doesn't let him use the Force. He needs to crawl back like he did in episode 3, when Palpatine leaves him to be. To him, it symbolized one of his significant moments in his life when he saw Obi-Wan leave him there to die, as he shouted at Obi-Wan that he hated him. This vision clearly appears to Darth Vader as he remembers that dark time. Inching closer to his lightsaber, he remembers his old master once more. As Anakin Skywalker, he loved Obi-Wan like a brother. As a Sith, he spent nearly 19 years hunting Obi-Wan down as he felt Obi-Wan betrayed him. The Jedi altogether betrayed not only him, but the Chancellor, his new empire. And in a clear state of shock, Darth Vader remembers the final moments of Obi-Wan, as Obi-Wan raised his blue lightsaber near to his face in a meditative state and simply surrendered himself to the blade of Darth Vader. Vader took that chance and sliced through the robe of Obi-Wan, thinking that he had finished the job. In the film, Darth Vader could be seen baffled by what happened to the body of Obi-Wan, as the robe itself simply slunched down to the ground and Darth Vader even stomped on it to see where the body was. In this version, he does the same thing. However, out of the robe of Obi-Wan comes the head of Palpatine. Palpatine lets out a ha, symbolizing the sadistic laughter of Palpatine, but through this, Vader communicates that Palpatine is mocking and showing his power to Darth Vader. This smirk or laughter by Palpatine in this comic panel showcases that Palpatine is supremely confident in his powers and doesn't view Vader as a threat, and he will never see Vader as a threat ultimately, as Vader wants to be, but could never achieve that. Maybe in his full body as Anakin Skywalker, who turned Darth Vader. In his physical form, he would have been all-powerful, possibly. Sidious himself believed that, but as part man, part machine, Darth Vader had his limitations, and we see that in this comic. The next page shows us the determination in Vader's eye. Even with a malfunctioning suit, he gives it his all to inch closer to his lightsaber and finally grab it. He knows what to do next. His final mission, one way or another, is to kill Palpatine once and for all, same as he did with his old master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, what I think really happened in this comic panel is that Darth Vader finally came to realize the truth, that Obi-Wan was not his enemy, that Obi-Wan was speaking the reality that Vader had took and twisted. Obi-Wan was always the good guy. He was his brother, and with Vader killing Obi-Wan, it gave way for Palpatine to realize his true intentions of expanding his empire and finally killing all the remaining Jedi that had survived Order 66. He finally broke through the lies of Palpatine. This is what I'm trying to say with Darth Vader, is that not only did he despise Palpatine at this point, he literally told him the truth. He told him about him lying about Padme, that she was still alive, when Palpatine had lied to him about him killing Padme actually. And in fact, while Palpatine lied, it was Obi-Wan who was by Padme's side, protecting not only Padme, but his son, who had now been raised to be a formidable Jedi in Luke Skywalker. It is not out of the comprehension that Vader understood this at this moment, that Palpatine had destroyed not only him, but his life. His wife was dead, and his son was running from the Empire. All this happened because of Palpatine. That laughter that he shows at the end of the comic panel is a moment of definement for Darth Vader. Him grabbing that lightsaber, realizing that he forgives Obi-Wan. He not only forgives Obi-Wan, but he realizes the brother and friend he was. Even though he cannot admit that publicly, I think down inside, deep inside, he knew truth. Palpatine was the real enemy here, and Obi-Wan was the one who protected his family against Palpatine and Vader's wishes. However way you feel about yesterday's comic, even though if it breaks your Star Wars experience to see Vader in that vulnerable state, I want to know all of your comments, because that yesterday was something shocking. I wouldn't blame you either way, so talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.